Because as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there's some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we're starting off very genteel, very civilized. The piano in the background, very genteel indeed. Let me stop sharing that and say hello and welcome to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. We're feeling very genteel this evening or this afternoon, wherever you may be, whatever your geographical location. Right about now, we're right here in Middle Earth, England. Middle Earth. And starting off nice and gentle, just welcoming you in, one and all. Come in. Come on in to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And what has been a beautiful, beautiful sunny day right here in Middle Earth. Okay. We have Cal L up in the building, bright and early. Well, are we gonna start this thing? What are we gonna do? We're gonna do the menu. Are we gonna do the menu? Yeah, let's do a little menu. Okay. So, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, where is? Let's share. Hold on. Okay, that's good. Let us share the thumbnail. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, can you see what I can see? And in comes the red-gloved militant. The Matador. Is that the Matador? Of course. Indeed. Indeed. Well, the Matador is sipping. The Matador is sipping on a nice red wine. And we're doing it nice and genteel over here this evening. Nice and genteel. Okay. So, what's that there? What is that there? Okay. So, let's have a look. Yes, okay. So we got the Daniel Dubois. Is he suing Don King? Daniel Dubois has not been paid by Don King for knocking out Trevor Bryan. We're going to be looking into that a little bit because I forgot that we hadn't touched that. What else? There's a bunch of stuff. Of course, Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz took care of Mckinson over the weekend. And we take a look at the DAZN card over here in the UK. Dubois still not has been paid. He's been stiffed. By Don King. We're going to have a look at that red glove. We're going to have a look at that Don King up to his old tricks. Indeed. Indeed. And of course, we've only got what? 10 days, 12 days till Joshua Usyk 2. We're gonna have to look at that too. Okay, but where do we start? Where do we start? We start with a couple of places we could start. There's a couple of places we could start, but first things first, we're gonna have to do a sound check. Let's get that done straight away. Let's have a look. Is that the full volume? Dang. Doesn't seem very loud at all. What's going on? Let's get that done straight away. Wow. Volume seems low. Let's have a look. Volume seems low. Oh, damn. It's not low. What is low? Okay. I think that's better. Okay. So let's stop that. What am I hearing in my ears? Is that an airplane? Yeah, that's good. That's fine. I thought that was terrible feedback. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yes, we are indeed live and just done the sound check. I think it's time we get into something. Start something. You want to be starting something. Okay. But I'm loving this gentle music. I don't know. I'm loving it. What do people think about the music? Hold on. Let's do a quick poll. Let's do a quick poll on the music. Personally, I'm enjoying it tremendously. But let's see what the people feel. What you about the music? What you think about the music? Question mark. Yes. No. Yes. What is it? Maybe just how do I get rid of that there? How do I change this damn thing? How do I change this darn thing? Okay, that's how you do it. Good. Bad. Good. Bad. Ask the community. Okay, what do you think about the music? Just as I was doing that, I remember that I taught someone how to do these poses. Yeah. Memory just triggered my memory when I was doing that just then. Get your vote in. Let me know how you feel about the music ASAP. The poll is there now. Get your vote in now. ASAP Ricky. Let's go. Okay. So as a matter of fact, it's getting a bit repetitive. It's getting a bit repetitive for me, so I don't, yeah, okay. That's this here. Let's move it on. Okay. Okay, it's good. What is this? All right. Okay. Okay, so where we starting? Okay. Right, let's get into this. Okay, so Where we starting? We're starting with Parker. We're starting with Joyce v. Parker. That's how we're going to get into this shiznix. That's how we're going to warm in. That's how we're warming in. Because I don't think I've really spoken about this. Okay. So Joe Joyce says, yep, well, let's get that down. Yep. That's good. That's great stuff. So what's Joyce saying? Let's have a look. Okay, Joyce saying, I can't wait to knock Parker out just for all this long time waiting and messing around. Okay. Boxing scene. Really tricky with that banner. I really hate that banner. It goes across everything, but it's okay. Okay, an aggravated Joe Joyce has talked trash like never before on Thursday during the press conference. Hey, for anybody who has not seen the press conference, I must thoroughly recommend it. If you didn't catch the Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker press conference, I thoroughly recommend it. I say them boys can't trash talk, but they did a damn good job. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed it so much I watched it twice, not the whole thing, but I rewound it. I pressed the rewind button a couple of times and watched certain selected pieces. It was highly entertaining, very, very funny. Hope you didn't hear the gulp in there. Taking in some nice, cool aqua. Okay. Could be a do or die for Parker. Do or die. Well, here's the thing. Well, actually, I'll come back to that comment in a second. Excuse me. An aggravated Joe Joyce talked like trash like never before. The British knockout artist typically takes a reserved approach to most promotional events, but the delay in scheduling this fight with Parker in September the 24th in Manchester, England, after Parker bickered with Frank Warren, Joe Joyce's promoter, regarding who was at fault for their fight not coming together for July the 2nd as initially planned. Now the fight's happening, Joyce said. It's to give the fans and all the people what they want, because it's going to be a great fight. And yeah, I can't wait to just knock him out, just for all this long time waiting and all this messing about. We could have had this fight in July, and you just wasted my time. OMG. What's this year? Yeah. So Joyce, WBO number one ranked heavyweight contender, has knocked out 98% of his professional opponents. Parker, a former WBO heavyweight champion who is ranked second by the WBO, has lost only a pair of 12-round unanimous decisions to former champion, unified champion Anthony Joshua and contender Dillian Whyte. Okay, so Parker has won 6 consecutive fights since losing back-to-back bouts against Joshua and Whyte. I think he's going to come out his hardest and try to hit me, whatever is done in camp, Joyce said. But at the end of the day, I'm going to win and I'm going to knock you out. Parker reminded Joyce that he will be the most accomplished opponent of the pro's 5-year career. Listen, but he's never fought anyone like me, Parker said. He said he fought people like me in the amateurs. Well, we're not in the amateurs now. We're in the professionals. Okay, so Joe Joyce, who will turn 37 5 days before he steps in the ring with Parker. And Parker, 30, was supposed to, we know that. It's going to be on BT Sports. It's going to be televised by BT Sports. Don't worry, fear not, folks. The Raphie has that. So we're going to be, it's happening in Manchester. I'm tempted to go. I'm half tempted to actually go, but then I couldn't broadcast it live, could we? So we'll be broadcasting that live right here from the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And with that, I welcome in the Iron Kong. The Iron Kong, how do you do today?
Bonjour, bonjour. I wasn't sure if I should come in. I had a chance to listen to the previous Raphael Dawkins combat experience.
That was a very that was a very that show was unlike any other show I've ever done, and I'll tell you why. Because people think it fits into a certain genre, but I don't think it does because I've never really, whenever I've done a show of that nature, it's always been, the facts have already been out there. The facts have already been, people already know because they've heard the dialogue, they've heard the back and forth. So whenever I've done a show of that type before, the facts have already been out there in the public domain. But with that last show, it was me delivering the evidence to an unsuspecting audience. So that show, and I had to present it in such a manner that it was clear and understandable. So that show was quite challenging for me, but I like to think that I conveyed the information that I needed to convey.
Yo, I listened to I just dying laughing. I was yo. I mean, it's funny, but it's serious still. Nobody likes plagiarists. Nobody likes, you know what I mean? You know, of course, everybody, watches everybody's stuff and, I like that. Let me do something like that, but let me put my own tweet on it. Don't just list it. You know what I mean?
Yes, you do. You put your own little spin on it. You put you change it up a little bit. Listen, everybody is influenced. There's nothing wrong with being influenced by someone. There's nothing wrong. Listen, I've influenced most of these cats out here. In the 3 or 4 years that I've been on YouTube, older heads than me, more experienced heads than me, have come in and have said, listen, before you, it was like this, and that. After you, things changed. Even the way that I ran my panels, because there have been times when the panels have been really big, and before me, it was like quite chaotic. But when I came in, I brought order. And the way I sequenced, I went around the panel, let everyone get a chance to speak, and I tried to make it in equal measure. That was not typical of the YouTube boxing community experience. That was not typical. I made it typical. I didn't know that. I was told by older heads than me. And there's other things that I brought in, many things that I brought in to this game, which older heads than me informed me. So anybody who has an orderly panel, they're already influenced by me. Anybody who is, there's lots of things. I'm not even going to go through them, but there's nothing wrong with being influenced. But you put your own little spices, your own little herbs on it. But you see, there's certain people who probably don't even know the meaning of the word plagiarism. And if somebody doesn't know the meaning of that word, then the chances are that they might fall into that precipice.
Listen, all I'm saying is, welcome to Raphael Dawkins Combat Show, aka the Combat Experience.
Yeah.
Where we have wonderful music playing in the background and all of that. So, I don't get on these panels much. I don't really be on YouTube boxing too much these days. But when I do catch the show, when I do catch the show, it's cool, but So it goes, Raphie. So it goes. You know, one the topic today.
Yeah, well, you know, we're looking. We're doing a bunch of things. We're doing a bunch of things, but we're starting off with we're starting off with your views on the Joseph Parker versus Joe Joyce. They did the press conference. You know, you can say how you feel about it. You can say who you feel is going to win. Did you see the press conference?
I did see the press conference, and I regret watching. It was so strange, right? Because it was like Joseph Parker being like he was trying to be real mouthy and
yeah.
But Joseph Parker, like, I just can't take Joseph Parker serious like that, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like he trying to kind of pipe up, knock you out and all this blah blah, hurt you. It's like, Joseph, I don't believe you. You don't fool me one too many times. I don't trust you. Then you got Joe Joyce, Sam Jones ain't there to talk for him. So he tried to talk by himself, and that's a shambles. And Frank Warren put in what he named the boy Shalom in his place.
Ben Shalom, is it?
Yeah, Ben Shalom in his place. But I mean the fight should have happened in the first place on BT Sport. I'm not sure why Joseph Parker even had to go and sign with just do the fight and then go sign who you want. So you have to still come back to the same Frank Warren for the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and you gotta pay probably Sky Sports something out your pocket or something. You know, because you're saying with them, so you might gotta pay them off something, you know, to leave to break your contract in a way.
For real.
So I mean, you should have done the fight. This is a good fight, a good solid heavyweight fight. You know, it's not for me to say if it's pay-per-view or not. I mean, it's a UK fight. I don't know nothing about that. You know, I don't pay pay-per-views. So
is it going to be pay-per-view? It's going to be on Sky. Yeah. Is it going to be pay-per-view? I don't know.
BT Sport.
BT Sport. Hey, people in the chat, is it going to be a pay-per-view on BT Sport? That's a good question. I never thought of it. Well, is it going to be pay-per-view?
Yeah, man. So, but that's the thing. This is a solid. The thing is, pay-per-view. No, everybody doing pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But the truth is, only about 1 or 2 fights actually
deserve to be
pay-per-view fights.
Yeah, pay-per-view worthy. Yeah.
It's not like this fight. These 2 people are not pay-per-view people.
I don't think this fight should be pay-per-view. It's not a championship fight. It's some kind of eliminator. It's not a championship fight.
And it's not even like it ain't even like it's 2 super popular people like they got these huge profiles and they command a lot of money. Like Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. I mean, it's a nice solid fight. But I guess if Ruiz and Ortiz is a pay-per-view, this is pay-per-view. Because this is a better fight than Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz.
Most definitely.
You know? So, but I don't think none of them is pay-per-views, but that's life still. But I think it's a damn good fight. Glad to see it. Stop waiting on Usyk and Joshua and them to do what they're doing. You do what you're doing. You know what I mean? So it's a good fight.
It's a good, solid fight. I'm looking forward to it. It's in September. Trying to find out. It does say it's on BT box office, so that implies it's a pay-per-view fight. You see, they're driving people to piracy. You know what I'm saying? They're driving people to piracy. If the people of the rdcr people don't contribute to that, then I'm going to have to be sending Jeeves upon the roof. You know what I'm saying? They're driving people to piracy. Every little fight that comes on, they're trying to say it's a pay-per-view. Come on now. Stop being so bloody ridiculous. This ain't pay-per-view worthy. You know what I'm saying? This ain't pay-per-view worthy. For me. Oh, but hold on a second though. Hold on. Hold on. What do people say about the music? Everybody likes the music anyway. Oh, that's cool. Let me end that. And let me ask another question of the people. Who wins? Who wins, Con? Who wins?
I don't trust Joseph. I don't trust Joseph Parker no more. I just don't trust him no more. I don't think I could pick Joseph Parker in no fight again, no time soon. So I don't gotta go with Joyce. You know what I mean? Joseph Parker has let me down a lot. Every time I think the man will do something special,
Yeah.
he just looks average. And Joseph Parker is a frustrating fighter to watch because you could see he has obvious skill and ability.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it just don't work out. He never puts it together.
Well,
and
he might put it together this time because he's with he's in a good camp. He's in Tyson Fury's camp, and he's got a good trainer, Andy Lee, a very experienced trainer. I think he's an upgrade.
But he had them people before.
No,
he had them people since. No, but he had them people since what? Since the first Chisora fight.
Yeah, first Chisora fight. So he's relatively new. They say it takes 3 fights to bed in. You had the first fight and he was new. You had the second fight and Parker showed marked improvements. Parker showed marked improvement in the second fight from the first fight. So if he shows another improvement in the third fight from the second fight, then he arguably he's on track. Arguably, you could argue that.
Yeah, all right. Well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be picking Joe Joyce until Joseph Parker surprised me. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Even when he was with the wet hair trainer, the kind of
Kevin Barrett
trainer he had here. It was like I could see the ability in you, but you just don't put it together. I don't understand. So
never put it together. You couldn't put it together.
Let's see. Back in Joe Joyce in this. You know what I mean? So let's see if Joseph Parker could pull it out the bag and put the beats on Big Joe. Because Joe Joyce said this is Big Joe versus Little Joe.
Yeah,
that's some trash talk, boy. That's some trash talk.
Big Joe versus Little Joe. Can heavyweight boxing be popular like NFL, NBA, or basketball in America if it was pushed properly? Why? Has that ship sailed? That's what it used to be like. It used to be like that. But then the big guys or the heavyweight guys, I don't know, they went into different sports. They went into NFL, the NBA, or baseball. So they gravitated away from boxing. Maybe people like Don King helped people gravitate away from boxing when they saw how slim shady it was with the money. And there's other games where you don't have to get beat up so much, where you can make even better money than boxing. So boxing now is like a Cinderella sport. It's like a fringe sport. Let's be honest, it's a fringe sport now. And then you have the likes of Deontay Wilder flying the flag for America. And he was supposed to be fighting a guy like the Polish sausage, Adam Kawanaki. And then we saw that Adam Kawanaki was nothing but a piñata, or some things, them little things that the Mexicans beat at parties, and then all little sweets drop out. Some kind of piñata. It turned out to be a piñata. And so you got a man in the form of the American champion, in the form of Deontay Wilder, who didn't want to fight no top 10 fighters. Anthony Joshua's fought more top 10 fighters than Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury put together. So that's terrible. How long would it take to repair the damage that Deontay Wilder, PBC, have done to heavyweight boxing in America? How long would it take to repair that damage? The man is a stranger. The man was a stranger in his own land. It took Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, to make Deontay Wilder known in his own land. And his own Americans were back in the Gypsy King over their own homegrown produce. I won't say talent, because he was like he was like a stranger in his own land for how many years? For how many years? You know what I mean? So, how many years would it take to undo that damage? It take a lot of years, my friend, a lot of years. The American public have lost confidence. And then look what happened to him 2 times. Look what happened to the American champion 2 times. He got battered, absolutely battered. Got dropped to the floor how many times? Multiple times. I think, hey, it's going to take America a long time to heal from the damage that Deontay Wilder, PBC, Al Heyman, the neglect, the wanton neglect, the mismanagement, and the lack of talent. I mean, the man's got a big hand, big right hand. but the overall talent was missing, was lacking. It's going to take many, many years, Andre, for American heavyweight boxing to heal from that. You know what I'm saying? And the Gypsy King went over there and embarrassed the American on his own soil. So it's going to take. So the answer to your question is no. It's going to take a long, long time, if ever. I think American society has gone past heavyweight boxing as a whole, and now it's just a niche market. It's a fringe sport for the Americans, and the lack of talent that we've seen. America has seen a paucity of talent in the heavyweight division where there was once an abundance of talent. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a lot of years. It's going to take a lot of years to heal the pain. Yan Kong, what do you think?
I think combat sports in general will always be a sort of a niche sport. Boxing had its time, had its day in America. The majority of people, though, will always be more in favor of stick and ball sports.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you have a sport that is about combat, even the Olympics, which is based mainly on martial exploits, you know, I have been trying for some time to get combat related sports out of the Olympics. Yeah. They're finding a way to get boxing out. They were trying to get judo out the other day, and taekwondo. They didn't, you know, it's just, you know, they're trying to get those things out. Combat sports in general are a niche market, and in boxing, in America, the mixed martial arts has done a better job in terms of, well, in its league, because they have a closed league. Yeah. They don't worry about all this, you know, promoter stuff, into promotional stuff. You know, the UFC has done a remarkable job, and they've cornered the market pretty much on combat sports in America. Yeah. I don't know if boxing will ever get back there, because I think the people who are in control of boxing now in America are the people who messed up the game back then. They got greedy, you know what I mean? They realized that they could keep nickel and diming people, and that, you know, and also they also don't care about the drop off. Networks use boxing as cheap entertainment. That's why it was fine for people, you know, on Fox to be making almost nothing, because for Fox it was useful. I could underpay these people and get good views, good, you know, in that time slot, and I don't have to risk them going nowhere, so they're not actual fighting. They'll stay here, fight bomb fights, and that's it. Yeah. You know?
Well, you
boxing
said
is nowhere. No time soon.
Yeah, I agree. You made a good point. You said they're trying to get boxing out of the Olympics, and I knew that. I didn't know they was trying to get judo out of the Olympics. I didn't know that.
They were talking about it some years back.
And taekwondo. So is this some kind of pussification? Are they trying to pussify? Is there a move to pussify the world? Yeah,
you know, martial exploits are not what they want to show. They prefer to have things like ballroom dancing in the Olympics and all this. They have skateboarding in the Olympics. I couldn't believe they had skateboarding. I was like, skateboarding.
Lord.
They had ballroom dancing some time ago. You know, you have things like that. But,
you got curling. They got curling, ice curling. They got curling.
Ice curling and things like that. But the one thing that truly unifies the world are martial exploits, because everybody fights.
Of course.
Everybody fights.
Of course.
And they don't want that anymore. And
you know, it's quite bizarre.
That's why you had that guy who was on, I think, Eddie Hearn, and this dude was on, and I think one of your British channels, and had this weird debate about if boxing is dangerous and all this. It's just like, you know, that's the way it's at. And people think boxing is more popular in England than in America, but yet in England you also have this push. People don't like boxing.
Well, that's true. I mean, I'm not blind to the dangers. I'm not blind to the dangers. It's a very dangerous sport. It can kill you. It does kill people. But then again, so does motor racing. You know, any kind of racing, motor vehicles, bikes, vehicles. The counter argument to that is, yeah, but you're not trying to damage the opponent in boxing. You're trying to damage the opponent. Yes. Well, I say, listen, if boxing didn't exist, if boxing did not exist, and then somebody said, hey, I got this great idea for a new sport. You put some leather gloves on, a little bit of padding, and you try to bludgeon your opponent to defeat. It wouldn't get through. It wouldn't get past today. And if you say to me, what do you think? Well, I said, well, hey, I mean, damn, it wouldn't get past today. It wouldn't get past today, but it's a sport. It exists. It's hundreds of years old. And all we can do is continue to try and make it as safe as possible. That's my answer. That's my response. The Red Glove Militant says, those who don't study plagiarism are doomed to repeat it. I must second that motion. I second that motion. Okay. Philip Khan Roberts up in the building. Okay, let's talk about Virgil Ortiz versus Michael Mckinson. Mckinson. Okay, I watched that fight. To be honest with you, Mckinson lasted longer than I had anticipated, longer than I thought he would. Virgil Ortiz did what I thought he would do, which is take it to Mckinson. But I think Mckinson being a southpaw, maybe Virgil found that a little bit more awkward. And Mckinson lasted a couple of rounds longer than I thought he would. And I'll be honest, I think Mckinson showed me, indicated to me, that Ortiz ain't ready. Ortiz ain't ready for the top boys. Ortiz ain't ready for the very top of the top echelon boys.
Who do you consider the top echelon boys? Who you consider?
Well, you're looking at Crawford. You're looking at Spence, and I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready for Boots either. I'm not saying Boots is the top echelon, but he's getting up there. I don't think he's ready for Boots either. I think Virgil Ortiz, he's good. He's damn good, but he ain't ready for them top boys yet. At one time I wondered, but I think with Mckinson, the southpaw, he showed that Ortiz still got work to do for me before he mixes it with them top boys.
You said the top boys are Spence and Crawford, right? And Boots?
Yeah. Well, Boots is up there too.
Well, you think he ready for somebody like a Keith Thurman? Even though Keith Thurman not really interested in the actual fights these days. I mean, Keith Thurman seemed to be the one that everybody has honed in on.
Yes.
Ben wants to fight Keith. Boots wants to fight Keith because Sean Porter is gone. Danny Garcia has left the division. And, you know, I think if Crawford doesn't get the
Spence
fight, he should fight Virgil Ortiz. At the very least, it's a big fight. It's a huge fight. In Texas, you know, it's a huge fight. Man,
I'll watch it. I'll watch that fight happily.
I like Virgil Ortiz's energy, because the thing is, there's really not much more for Virgil to do. In my opinion, out of all these young guys, he has the best experience in terms of the opponents he's fought. You know, people could say he's not that skilled or whatever, but he's fought them and he's beat these people. Right? Yeah. So there's really not more levels for him to go. Like right now, he should be somebody's mandatory. You know, we've seen people get title shots for doing less. So, you know, Virgil Ortiz, I mean, who else in the middle would you want Virgil Ortiz to fight before a title shot. Virgil
Well-
Ortiz. Go ahead.
Well, wasn't he supposed to fight Avanesian? I love that fight.
Yeah, Avanesian ducked him though. I
Yeah.
know, so you're not gonna fight Avanesian.
Avanesian, Thurman.
But the guy who beat Avanesian.
Say that again.
He beat the guy who beat Avanesian, Kavliauskas.
Yeah. Kavliauskas, Mean Machine. Yeah. I still want them to run it back. I still want them to propose that to Avanesian again, and Thurman's the obvious choice. Thurman is the obvious choice. But I don't have a problem with Ortiz fighting the higher echelon guys that I mentioned. I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying if I'm in his management team, I would hang fire on that. I personally would hang fire on that if I was in his management team, his promotional team, his training trainer. I'd just ease up a little, pump the brakes on that. Just go with the Avanesian. You'll beat Avanesian, pressure him again, and go with Keith Thurman. That would be an interesting fight. Who wins against him and Keith Thurman? I think it's interesting. I think it would be interesting. Have I got a poll going on? Do I got a poll going on? Oh, that was 16 minutes ago. It was a long time. Okay. And let's end that poll and let's go. Let's end the poll. Let's end the poll and bring up the results. Let's copy and paste that. Boom. Yeah. So the question is to the panel, who do you, because that's the question of the thing here. I think that's one of the question. I think that's the title of the show. Ortiz dominates. Oh, I changed the title. Who do you want to see Ortiz fight next? That's a damn good question. Me, I still want Avanesian because they're two tough hombres. And I would love to see that fight. Offer him again. Offer him a little bit more money if needs be. But I really want to see that fight.
I think let me just say on the Keith Thurman tip quickly. I'm not gonna be picking Keith Thurman in no more tough fights ever again. Since he lost his long hair, he looks like the guy who was cutting and preparing my shawarmas the other day. And I don't think my shawarma dealer could beat nobody in no fight.
For real.
So if Keith Thurman dealing shawarmas and you know what I mean, and what y'all call it, kebabs, you know what I mean? He looked like somebody who you call Aki. You know what I mean? Like he looked like one and who you call Aki. Like Aki, let me get some chips and two beef kebabs there, with a little curry sauce for me, please. So I don't think no Aki, no shawarma dealer fight nobody. Okay? So I am picking Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is a below average light skinned man, and I'm a light skinned man, and we have levels. Long hair light skinned people are higher level than people like me who don't have no hair. I'm just an average light skinned person. When I had a hair, I was like above average.
Yeah,
above
average. Well, a lady called me old. Not a lady in real life, but a lady on the internet. A plagiarist lady said that the Raphie was old, but let me say this. If the Raphie, well, first of all, that's not the feedback I get on the ground. That's not the feedback I'm getting on the ground. That's not the feedback I get in the gym. You know what I'm saying? What I get in the gym, I get a lot of stares. So the plagiarist lady, words empty and hollow, hollow. If after all that I've said, all that you can say, come back and say is old Raphie. Darling, I'm only a few years older than you. So if I'm old, you're old. I'll say that. And I will also say that I know that 70% of my plate is vegetables. Okay? On my plate, 70%. Do I have to go to Instagram on this? 70% of my plate is vegetables. Now, if people don't know, damn, comes up straight away. Let me share this. If people don't know, when you have a diet rich in vegetables, there are a lot of benefits. And first of all, I'm going to shout out to James Jameson. James, I've missed you. I'll admit it. I've missed you. I've missed you, James. So, I don't know. That's not very big on the screen. But for people who don't know, when you have a diet that consists primarily of vegetables, it keeps one youthful in more than appearance. And that's all I'm going to say. But let's just say that it is very beneficial for a man to have a diet that's primarily based on vegetables, plant matter. If you can't connect the dots, hold on, where am I? If you can't connect the dots, then think about it. This is my typical meal. What we got on the screen there. We got, you see the red is the tomato, the purple, that's the beetroot. Look up the benefits of beetroot. The yellow, that's peppers. You might see some white cubes, that's the aubergine. And then you got some tuna. That's a meal. That is, when you look at the nutrient, and it's almost always on a bed of spinach. I have spinach at least 2 times per day. And if people haven't figured it out yet, it's a high energy, nutrient dense diet, which is far superior, my dear, to your processed food diet. And we both know what each other eats because we were in the same group. And this is another thing that I was a big part of, posting up my meals, my concoctions, and you did likewise. Mine is natural and yours is processed foods. Please. So please, you know what I mean? Let's just connect the dots. The Raphie is very, very youthful. I don't want to say no more about that. Not just in appearance, but in the nutrient content, which has benefits.
Let's have some parliamentary procedure here.
You know. I don't want to put too fine a point on the thing, but all them nutrients that you just saw before you, that's normal. That's multiple times per day, at least 2 times a day. At least 2 meals a day is nutrient rich, and that has benefits. I ain't gonna say no more. But James Jameson is up in the building. Great to see him. Innocent Joseph Parker gonna shake up the world. Innocent Joseph. Okay, the people prefer MMA these days. My daughter watches boxing with me, but recently started talking about MMA. Yep, absolutely. I started doing MMA. How many years ago was that? 17 years ago? 17 years ago, and people didn't know what it was. They called it no holds barred. I was doing that in Acox Green, gym called Stevie B's Gym, Acox Green, Birmingham. It was a bit of a drive for me, but I made it. And I found jiu-jitsu in Acox Green, and the wrestling, or the Valley Judo, no holds barred. That was a guy called Mick Brosnan in Willing Hall. So I was driving all over the place. No holds barred. And FA. Oh, this could be bad. This could be bad. This could be bad.
It will never, though. It can never be bad.
Oh, hello.
Hello, sir. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Dawkins, for having me on your show.
Hey, absolutely. Where you from, FA?
I'm from Nigeria myself.
Nigeria. Okay, good to have your opinion. Hey, we might as well switch the topic to Anthony Joshua. The rematch with Usyk. Yeah. Talk to me about that, FA.
Well, probably like a lot of your listeners, we can only hope that AJ delivers on the night. Mm-hmm. But from the way it looks, I think it's 50-50. It can go anywhere because Usyk is not coming to play. He's training hard, very vigorously, and he's looking to keep those belts because he's now the A side.
He's not the A side. He's not. No, he's not the A side. He's the B side in terms of percentage of people who think he's going to win.
Okay, but I mean, he has the belts. He's now the champion.
Oh yes, sorry. You're talking about Usyk. Yes. He's the A side. Yes, he's the A side now. He's the A side. Ortiz was getting pieced up in the early rounds. Ortiz, was he getting pieced up? I don't know. Was he getting pieced up? Was Ortiz getting pieced up in the early rounds? A stronger southpaw gives him big problems. Yes, I agree with that. Rafael Dawkins, do you think the WBC Bridgerweight division will be closed down as soon as possible? Yes. Or they could keep it going, but if it's only one governing body organization that's got it, then I mean it's kind of, unless it catches on to the others, which I don't anticipate happening. Salute to Raphie and legendary panelist Iron Kong. Yes. I've been joined by FA from a Nigerian man, so it's good to have him on, since we're talking about another man of Nigerian origin, in the form of Anthony Oluwafemi Olansi Joshua.
Hey.
So let's have a look.
Can I ask you a question, sir? What is your opinion on this fight, and how do you think it will swing?
Well, Iron Kong, can you answer that question? I just want to go through some of these comments here and then get back into that.
Yeah, peace. Now for your brother Effie, I just feel like my guy Femi. I always roll with Femi. I don't back up on that. However, I do think Usyk is the favorite. I think his best chance to beat Usyk was in the first fight, because Usyk was still a bit new to the heavyweight division. I think if he had applied the pressure on Usyk, he could have won that fight. The problem is Anthony Joshua. Sorry, I don't call him Anthony. I call him Femi. I think Femi got issue where he hasn't fought a lot of southpaws in his career. He fought one Charles Martin who laid down, and that's his issue. Southpaws are very, very rare find, and they're usually very proficient, right?
Yeah.
I think with Femi right now, I edge Usyk slightly. I edge him because he understands how to work on bigger men. He's fought bigger men all his career. He's fought, lefties are always fighting righties. He knows what to do.
Yeah.
However, I realized he's put on a lot of weight. Like he's really bulked up. I noticed that from the first face-off over there in Jeddah. I realized he looks very big, and I just saw him doing some training, and he looks very, very big, which tells me Usyk is not there to run around too much. He wants to knock Anthony Joshua out. He wants to leave no doubt, and he wants to put a stamp on it. Usyk is not doing this just for him. He wants to do this for his country, who he got free rights to watch the fight in. He wants to do this as a morale booster for the people in Ukraine. So he's coming with that. He's coming with that extra heat behind him. And Femi has to understand that this man coming to pretty much embarrass you. You know, this is a fight that means more to him at this point. You know, I edge him slightly because he understands what to do with people like Josh, because he's fought people like that before. I edge him slightly. I back Femi. That's my guy. I don't whatever. I back him. I want to win the fight. I edge Usyk slightly, but I wonder if the added weight and that Usyk might be trying to be more stable. He's not gonna move around too much, because adding all that weight most likely going to slow you down and you can't move as much. Will that affect Usyk? Because even with his movement in the first fight, Joshua was catching him every now and again, catching him, and he was buzzing him, he was hurting him every time. He just didn't keep up the pressure. So if he stands in front of Anthony Joshua too much, that might be a problem for him. But the edge Usyk slightly.
Yes.
Usyk, to me, Usyk has to be the favorite. He won the last fight. He's the more experienced guy. His experience runs deeper. Tomorrow Never Comes. Wasn't that a Bond film? Wasn't that 007? Tomorrow Never Comes, or was it Never Say Never? Was it Never Say Never? Something like that. So Usyk, I'm a big believer in the foundation. I'm a big believer in starting young. And Usyk has the jump on him in that regard. Fury has the jump on him in that regard. However, so I'm clearly saying that Usyk is the favorite. I'm saying that. However, what I'm also saying is that Joshua's been in there with him now. And so he knows what it feels like to be in there. He knows what shots Usyk was getting off that he didn't expect Usyk to get off with. He's been in there.
You know, one thing, Mr. Dawkins, which I've learned over the past, let's say, 5 years of boxing with the trilogy between Wilder and Fury. Even the fight between Ruiz and AJ. Is you cannot train someone to take a punch if you're a bit chinny, as they say. If you're not durable, if you cannot take a shot, nobody can train you for that. Nobody can prepare you for that. And I've seen on more than one occasion that when AJ gets hit, he goes down, man. We've seen it. We've seen it now, and I'm sure we will see it again on that night.
Well, I will say, I agree with you, but I will say that you can ride a shot. I think one of the best fighters that I've seen. One of the best fighters that I've seen is James Toney. One of the fighters whose style I enjoyed the most is James Toney. And he used to ride shots, move with the shot, ride a shot. Riding the shot is a skill. Riding the shot is an underrated skill.
Very much.
Ride the shot. So a lot of people say have got great chins. Yes, not going to dispute that. You do need a great chin in boxing. It helps. But also, if you look closely, you'll see a lot of the top guys ride the shot. The shot. So it's not just a question of the chin. It's a question of the ability to ride a shot. And the better the fighter, the higher quality the fighter is, the higher level ability to ride a shot.
But you have to be willing to take a shot.
You have to be willing to take a shot.
James Tonley,
you have to be willing to take the shot.
James Tonley's face. If you look at James Tonley's face, you can see this man has been punched so many times in his face.
Yes.
So he's used to it. He's accustomed to it. If you look at Anthony Joshua, you know, his face is very clean.
Yes.
He's very clean. He looks very fresh.
Yes.
Which is much better for his future. But he is very, very sensitive. Very sensitive to a shot.
Well, if you're not riding the shot, if you're walking into shots, you're going to be sensitive.
Yeah.
You can't walk into them. You see, Joshua is not as seasoned as the other higher echelon guys. We're talking about Tyson Fury. Look at Tyson Fury riding the shot. That's all he does. Ride the shot. Right? When does Tyson Fury ever take a clean flush shot?
Exactly.
Very rare. He rides the shot. Even those shots he was getting hit by from Wilder, I believe he was riding those shots.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of them.
Yes, a lot of those shots he was riding. The majority of those shots he was riding the shot, and that's a skill. That's a skill. Ride the shot. He's working with Robert Garcia now. And I think that Robert Garcia's got some things to offer. Listen, he can win or he can lose. If he wins, it's not the end of the world. If he loses, it's not the end of the world. All I can do as a fan of boxing, I mean, I would like Femi to bring the world championships back to England, because England is where I live. You know what I'm saying? England is where I live. So I would love him to bring the belts back to the UK. Will he do it? I have no idea. I'll be sitting here at the computer watching the fight and talking about the fight live. Don't know what's going to happen.
About Wilder, the same thing. A lot of people in America and the UK, a lot of Wilder fans, they had this belief that Wilder could do it. Yeah, he can do it this time. And in the end, he failed. And to be honest, I just see the same thing for AJ. A lot of people's hearts will be broken.
Yeah.
And AJ will move on and take it gracefully, as he always does.
Yes.
He would take it with style. He knows how to lose and keep his head high with grace, because AJ is bigger than just boxing.
Yes.
But I really cannot see him winning, and it will be disappointment for his fans on that night. If you was to bet your money, if I was to ask you to bet your life savings on one of the two, I'm sure you would place them on. You wouldn't place them on AJ for that night.
Well, I'm not a gambler. So I would tell you. You say I have to bet I would tell you I have so much, but I'd spread my bet. I'd spread my bet. I do believe my heart won't be broken. I was sad that he lost to Ruiz the way he did, but he did. And that told me a lot. That told me that there was some seasoning missing, because there's no way in hell he should have walked in like he did. He should have run in. He ran in. Yeah. And I was saying on the live commentary, don't rush in. Don't rush in. And the fact that he rushed in the Ruiz fight, I said, yo.
And the rematch, what do you think about the rematch?
Well, listen, I think
he was running the whole fight. Some people say he was.
Yeah,
he was running the whole fight.
But I think in the first fight he was concussed. I think in the first Ruiz fight he was concussed, and then in the second fight he thought he's got to be careful. It's like, I don't know. I think it was who was it that said it yesterday? who was it that said it yesterday? Not it was on The Price is Right. I've had him on the show over here. What's he called? Spencer Fearon says, listen, if you've been in a car accident, a serious car accident, and you were driving and it was your fault, the next time you get behind the wheel, you might be a bit shaky. And that's a fair comment. And, you know, you could say that's what happened to Joshua. He was in a serious car accident and it was his fault. And then the next time he got in the ring, you know, he was a little bit, a bit cautious.
Mr. Duck, to be totally honest with you, I don't think AJ is the top 3 in Britain at this moment. It would be Fury.
Yeah.
I think if the boys was chopped in with AJ at this point, I think the boys would knock him out. And I also think Joe Joyce would walk him down. Mm-hmm. That's my own opinion. Mm-hmm. I think Joe Joyce would walk him down, and I think Daniel Dubois would KO him.
Well, in the UK,
Anthony fourth in
well, in the UK, we have an embarrassment of riches. We got in that case, we got the 4. We might have the 4 top 10. We might have the top 4 heavyweights. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Possibly. I think that he's fought Joyce before. And I think he's confident against Joyce. And confidence is, remember at school. I don't know. Remember at school, there was like, you know, you have what we over here, we call it the cock of the year. Who is the cock? Who is the best fighter in that year? Now, I remember I was always one of the cocks. of the year. But I remember it was like, you feel confident with this guy and he's supposed to be the cock, but yet he fights another guy and another guy beats him. Okay. So no, you don't feel confident with the guy who's supposed to be number 1, but you feel confident over a next guy. Now another guy fights the cock and he beats him, but you feel confident over the guy who beat the cock. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just linear 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not just linear like that. It's complex sometimes. Some guy
styles make fights.
Styles make fights. Style make fights, because some guy who's not supposed to be one of the top guys can all of a sudden come and just blitz the guy who's supposed to be the cock. You say, what the hell just happened there? What the hell just happened? I've seen that happen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, many times. So it's an interesting one. Let's have a look what people are saying. A cock. Yeah, that's what we call the top guy. What do you call the top guy in your year in Nigeria? What's the top guy in the school? Who is he? What's he called? What do you call him?
That is just someone not to be played with now.
Yeah, the cock. That's what we call him. What do you call him in Scotland? James? We call him the cock in England. What do you call him in Wales, Philip Carl Roberts? What do you call the best fighter in the year? What do you call the best fighter in the year? Steady on.
Mr. Dawkins, thank you very much for your time. I have to leave now. But thank you. I will continue.
Whenever you're passing through, don't be afraid to jump on the link and keep listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay. So that was FA. Raph, have you been to the Temple Gym in Birmingham? I've never actually been in the Temple Gym, but it's in Temple Street. I know where Temple Street is. I've actually met Dorian Yates. He was waiting for a bus one time on Temple Street. Yes, nut job. That's the top boy. The top boy is called a scrapper. Yeah, they call him the cock. Our school used to call him the cock. Top boy. Okay, top boy. Giant haystacks done Raphie and Spearmint right now. No chance, right? No chance. Giant haystacks. Giant haystacks. Hey. Saw me. Giant haystacks was jealous of me. Because I didn't look like a sack of crap like he did. OMG. Giant haystacks tried to pile drive the Raphie. No way. No how. No way, no how. What's going on? Let's have a look. What we're dealing with here. So, yeah. Anthony Joshua. Ryan Kong. How you doing there? Ryan Kong.
I'm here, man. Just listening to you and
Yeah, effort. Yeah, man. So what else we talking about? What else we looking at? We're looking at have you heard that Don King is trying to stiff Daniel Dubois?
it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Don King made that man fight in a highlight arena.
Yeah.
It sounds about right? It's Don King. Don King outbid Frank Warren. I think Frank Warren knew this would happen too. I think Frank Warren was for Frank to be online acting all sort of outraged and flustered or paid Daniel his money. All that. Frank knew very well what was going to happen. He knew. He did this to get back at Don King because he knew Don King wasn't going to be able to pay. And he used Daniel Dubois as a pawn in doing it. Yeah. Daniel Dubois going to have some problems getting this money. It's Frank, it's not really his fault because it's a purse bid. Anybody can bid anything. But Frank Warren knew what was coming. And it sounds about right. Don King ain't doing no big stuff in boxing, bro. Don King ain't got no money to be paying these people. What are we talking about here? Trevor Bryan ain't nothing what he mean. And I wonder if Trevor Bryan got paid. I wonder if he got paid.
Yeah.
Man, please.
Trevor Bryan.
A guy on Twitter had said Daniel Dubois needs to take the check to the nearest liquor store as soon as he get it.
Yeah.
And pretty much, here we go. I mean, shady dealings, no money, all of that. It's just nastiness, but it's Don King. What do you expect? This guy,
That's Don King. It's predictable. No one's surprised. No one is surprised at all. Don King saying that what's his name? Frank owes him some money. So I guess what he's saying in a roundabout way is that your boy Frank owes me some money, so get him to pay you out of the money that he owes me. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them, some kind of street corner kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Well, your man's owe me some money, I owe you some money, so why don't you get the money from your man's? Let him pay you the money he owes me. So it's some kind of bull-ish going down like that. Long live the king. I heard the Don King won the purse, but I just knew Dubois was getting shafted. Is Fish Eyes banned from the USA? That's a damn good question. Because all the Furies are banned. Everybody who was connected with the MTK appear to be banned. Talking about the MTK, hold on a second. Haven't I got a video that's cooking that needs releasing? Hold on a second. Let me just go into that. I just completely forgot about that. The Tyson Fury. Oh. So let me just release that to the public. Publish that. Okay, so that's published for people to take a look at their leisure after the show. Let me just write in something real quick. What's this? TYSON. Okay. And who else? Oh, Derek Chisora. Tyson Fury. I've been ignoring this story about Tyson Fury calling out Derek Chisora for the trilogy. I thought it was a joke thing. But after the show, feel free to check out my video. He made a video. Tyson Fury made a video about it, and he seems to be serious. And I was talking to Leon Figures on was it Twitter or Instagram? I said, "Do you believe this shiznix? Do you think Tyson Fury is for real?" And he said, "Well, Tyson Fury is banned from the USA, so he could be trying to make something happen over here, a low risk fight. He's trying to get a low risk fight." And I thought, damn, you might be right. Tyson Fury might be looking for a low risk fight for real. But if so to be the case, then why not take another low risk fight? Why does he have to be Chisora? You're 40-14 two-time already. Two-time. 40-14 two-time. I'm not going to say who I recommended Tyson Fury fight because that's all up in the video. But it does appear that Tyson Fury for real wants to fight Chisora for a third time, which I find quite frankly ludicrous and outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. But hey, Tyson Fury can't go to America, so he's looking for a thing. He's looking for a money. Man's looking for a money. So what's going on? I have to watch Lorenzo Trunk Simpson. I don't know that cat. I don't know that guy. Money laundering is serious business. Don King won the purse. Yeah, Don King won the purse and knew it was going to be problems. Fish Eyes got robbed. My heart bleeds for him. Heart bleeds. Anyway, where is what we saying here? What we're looking at? What we're saying? Let me share my screen. Oh yeah, and what happened? The good lady in question. What did she say? She said, "Oh, rdcr is boring." Well, listen, that was another charge. So after all I said, that's the best you could come up with. Okay, well, let me address that. For one, the rdcr is one of the more innovative channels. That's one. Two, you have tried to acquire the services of almost every single panelist that I've had on. Yeah, well, the bulk of them, the main panelists, you have tried to acquire their services. Yeah, I don't need to mention the names, but even Kong is one of those names. You've tried to acquire the services. You've headhunted those cats, including myself. So if
of who?
Yeah. So no, she asked me, the lady in question asked me she kind of in a roundabout way. Well, it wasn't roundabout, it was kind of straightforward way. She asked me she said, "Is Kong, how is Kong?" Well, she already knows how you are. And I said, "Well, it's cool with me," because I knew what she was trying to get at. And she said, "Oh, because I like to make sure that people are suitable for the group, the WhatsApp group we're talking about." I said, "Oh, okay." And then I swerved it because I wasn't going to have you in that in that situation, because I'd already known that the situation was dodgy. I already knew about the plagiarism, the thievery, the ideas theft. Oh, by the way, this is the original wrap-up show. The original wrap-up show. Okay? You see at the bottom of the screen, the weekend wrap-up. Yeah, this is the original wrap-up show. Don't trust any cheap imitations. Okay, so I swerved all of that. So what I'm saying is the individual says the rdcr is boring, but yet the individual tried to acquire the services of all the main panelists on the rdcr. So that claim was a total load of crapola. Okay, just easy to smash. Yeah, Colombo time. You just one more thing. You know how the Raphie do. So I just smashed that allegation also. Yes, listen to the last live, James Jameson, and all the previous live to this live. It's quite interesting, and all will be revealed. So that just popped into my head. I thought, let me just smash that while I'm here. And what was I talking about? What was I thinking of? Oh yeah. Let me share my screen. What time is it now? Okay, only a few minutes to go. You know, we don't go too deep, too long. We go deep, but we don't go too long. Where is this? Okay, so this gal here, what's her name again? Did you watch the DAZN thing, Kang, on the weekend? Did you watch the DAZN card on the weekend? This woman, Smith Mason. This is Sandy.
I watched the Jordan Thompson fight, and that's about it.
Yeah. I didn't get too deep in it. I skimmed it. I didn't get too deep in it, so I'm not going to get too deep into this. So this girl is Sandy Ryan here, and she beat the girl she was fighting. Excuse me. She beat the girl. What's that girl she was fighting? What was her name? Hold on a second. Let me scroll down a bit. Okay, I'll come back to that. Hold on a second. I ain't gonna get caught out. Like I have in the past. This is Dalton Smith versus Mason. And Smith took out Mason. That was a sweeping. What was that? Some kind of right hook. It came from north. It came from east to west. Why is it never east shredded wheat? Yeah, that was from east to west. And that was all she wrote. That was in the 6th round or something like that. How are you scoring this halfway through? What is that? That's Ryan, Sandy Ryan. Hold on. Let me have a look at the comments in that one. You score. No. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at Ryan by a street. 4-1 Ryan. 4-1 Ryan. Ryan all the rounds. Okay, so Ryan won that one convincingly by the woman who beat her before. This cat Hector writes garbage. OMG. Smith Mason. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Clout check. How could I clout from someone who's just come on the scene? Just come on the scene. Boring. Never that. Not the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. The purveyors. Cutting edge. Boring never. But what I will say is this. I do shows solo dolo all the time. Yeah. Well, so if no, and furthermore, I don't I don't lobby. I don't lobby. I'm not in the background messaging people to come on. You know what I'm saying? I welcome people on. It's always good to have Kong on. FA came in today. Leon Figures comes in. The Fight Doctor comes in. And I welcome all the guys to come on in. But I'm not in the background. I assure you, I'm not in the background messaging people to come on, beseeching people to come on, asking them repeatedly to come on. I'm not doing that. I assure you, I'm not doing that. If somebody comes on, then that's great. It's lovely. It's a beautiful thing. But I am not messaging people. I am not beseeching people to come on. So I go solo, dolo. Anytime, all the time. Whenever I start the show, there's only one thing I'm sure of. That's the I'm going to be on. That's the only thing I know. Everything else is improvised. Who's going to come on? I have no idea. But if that situation existed on the lady side, she'd cancel the show, as she's done many, many times. I'm not bullshitting you. If there ain't enough backup, she ain't going live. So there's no comparison betwixt the two. You can't compare that with this. If she ain't got multiple people to go on with her, she ain't doing it. She will cancel the show. She has done numerous times. So she can't compare that with this. I go live solo, dolo every time. I have no idea who's coming on. So you can't compare that with this, because she won't go live without a certain amount of people. So there is no comparison, my dear. No comparison. You can't do what I do. Just to be clear. Just to be clear. And I'm not being rude or nasty, and I wouldn't do that to her because there is no hate. I'm just being honest. As a matter of fact, she contacted me via WhatsApp. And there was some little chit chat, you know, Raphie, or this or that or whatever. But no hate. I'm just simply being honest. That's all. Just being honest. You, my lady, can't do what I do. You will never go live solo, dolo. You'd have a nervous breakdown. Let's just be honest. So you can't do what I do. But I can do what you do, but just better. No hate, just telling the truth. Cloud Chaser. Okay, so that's my response to that. Years of watching Colombo paying off. Oh dear. Oh lordy, people. Already threatened certain chance to get her big brother. Ooh, OMG. Raphie is very comfortable. Sipping his red wine over here. You know what I'm saying? I might just light up a cigar. You know what I'm saying? But Raphie is super comfortable. And we've come to that time, the Iron Kong. We've come to that time where it's the end of another very interesting show.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you for having me as usual, Raphie. You have a nice evening over there. Shout out to my lady, Dina Asher Smith. You know, you didn't compete in the Commonwealth. I know you was injured. I didn't get to get through customs with the Benge. You know, and they called me back in immigration, so I had to fly back. But I'll be back one of these days. You know, I'll smuggle myself through from the French side, you know, through the channel.
Oh, yeah, French side, yeah.
You know, I'll come to the south of Britain, you know, knock showing Cornwall somewhere, and
yeah,
right
upon the shores,
right
upon the shores. Well, that was the Iron Kong. Thanks for jumping in as per usual. Always a pleasure. And the Iron Kong's got his own channel, folks. It's the Iron Kong 26. For real. To kill me on the live. Trying to kill James. Fair to good show. Not too bad at all. Not too shabby. Damn, threatened to kill the James Jameson. That's woo. What can we say? You got me feeling emotion. That's what she was singing. That's what the good lady was singing. Hey, sad news about the Olivia Newton-John. A lot of the girl of the dreams of many a young fella back in the Dizzy. And dies at the age of 73. Yeah, she had is that good innings? I think I want to at least make it to 80, maybe. At least make it to 80, but she got to 73. Hey, 73 is better than 63, yeah? 73 is better than 63, and 63 is better than 53, and 53 is better than 43. Jesus. Holy hell. Battling cancer for 30 years. Good God. I didn't know that. Lord. Good Lord. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. But she's passed now. She gave us a lot of thrills. Back in the day. Now she's departed this mortal coil. We say rest in peace. Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. Great show. Absolutely. Indeed. Thanks to everybody for coming through. Locking it off now. James Jameson, I suggest you go back and listen to the previous live. I think you will be entertained. Anyway, thanks to the Iron Kong for jumping on. Thanks for everybody else for jumping in. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it's the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and check out the video just dropped. It's Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. We're out. Blessed.